What is going on, people? Welcome to the Offside Chat podcast. It is your boy Naber right now, and we are going to introduce you to the normal team. You're probably looking at the screen thinking, are two people doing the podcast in the same room? But this gentleman who I'm going to introduce in a bit, he copies me everywhere. So I can see that he's come round to the yard and he literally has copied it exactly as it was, but just other way around. But listen, let me introduce Ted. Ted, what's going on, brother? Obviously, another label, another Monday, another label. Today is daily paper. So,
is that a
which
bake?
looks like
Is that a bake?
You're seeing things. It's Primark. You're seeing things.
Primark. So
you know why you're. You know why you're seeing bait?
No. So we want it on record. You shop at Primark, yeah?
Yeah, I get it where I can, bro.
Hey, yo, calm down. But you shop at Primark, yeah? Good.
The reason why you're seeing Bape is because it's label off. That's all you see in it. So every time you see something, oh, yeah, that must be. But fantastic, man. Shout out to the people at Daily Paper. Holla up my boy Ed.
Yeah, good shirts, man.
You know what's making me laugh?
Let man live.
No, exactly that. Ed was thinking, hold on, what's going on? Obviously, I shouted Daily Paper to drop 3 garbs. Look at him. Oh, yes, Daily Paper. Why didn't you mention it? What's going on? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm all right. Can't complain.
We've got Naeem. Naeem, I'm very happy that you've actually finished. He came into the chat room. I think he was eating biltong or something like that. So you see the temples there, just, you know what I mean?
What, some South African beef jerky?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, yeah. You don't make that stuff in West Africa, right? Biltong.
So. Now, be careful now, Naeem. You're surrounded here, you know. Like, be very careful.
I mean, look after yourselves for Christmas.
I don't want any South African beef jerky. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah,
you're missing out.
I'll tell you what I would like, though, those delicious locusts that you guys do. Yeah, if you can send over a bag of
we really need to discuss about locusts and which countries are the largest.
I would love to carry on with that, but we've got to introduce the other guest.
Let's not discuss that country.
But yeah, right. We've got a jack of all trades. It is the creator of Levels. He's a DJ, full-time lover boy, but also a football supporter. Yeah, but he's actually a football supporter. It's the one and only Kofi. Obviously, check out Levels. He was doing incredible work with them for many years now. Music connoisseur and actually a football guy. So he's the top guy. Always in people's comments, no matter what the result is. So we welcome him, Manchester United fan, man. Kofi, welcome to the show. Your first episode, right, with us?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. I'm just trying to be as insufferable as you Arsenal fans, you know.
There we go.
Ready? Smoke already? Okay.
Cool. Oh, bro, off the mark.
He's a nasty piece of work. But listen, look, I think we need to start. We actually saw Manchester City travel to Crystal Palace. Look, it's fair that probably if you're an Arsenal supporter, you looked at this fixture. I thought, look, Palace is a tough place to go. You know, Mateta, I heard, was going to be injured. He was fit. Sarr, I thought, was going to be injured. He was fit. So they had kind of a relatively the starting 11, really. And it's a tough place to go. Palace, they're no jokes. It's a very tough place to go. But Manchester City did what Manchester City do, dispatched of them and were extremely clinical. Edward, what did you think of the game, man?
It was not as convincing as the scoreline suggested.
Mm-hmm.
Palace gave City a good game. It's just they've got, difference makers at the top end of the pitch. When you've got Haaland scoring the goals, Foden, listen, I hate to say it, he might be back, He might be back. I think he scored his 6th goal of the season and he scored 4 in a row. It's looking kind of ominous, man. He was down and out for, I want to say, better most of last year, if not all of last year, and a bit of maybe the tail end of the season before. But Foden scoring, it helps Haaland, because the scoring load isn't purely on Haaland. So for him to be back amongst the goals, we're Arsenal fans by Kofi. You don't want to see the 2-man step of Haaland and Foden, because that helped them win the league a couple of seasons ago. and yeah, it's looking a bit scary, man. I can't lie.
I watched, yeah, I think.
Scoring.
Yeah, with you, Ed. I watched the game yesterday, and I thought Crystal Palace started very well.
Hit the
Crystal
crossbar.
Palace, they had a couple. Yeah, exactly. They had a couple of chances, but I kind of thought it was going to be that game when they didn't take their chances. I think with City, I thought one of you guys have got to take your chance here, and if you don't, you're going to be punished. You saw the Haaland goal. I think we've seen that looping header 100 times now. So that was obviously, I thought, yeah, poor marking. But once he's in that position, you know what time it's going to be. But the one that killed the game was that Foden goal, because that was on the break. Cherky passed it, and then the finish. The finish was, you know, I mean, I love a good finish, but that finish was quality because Henderson was at full stretch. Do you know what I mean? All I saw was a net bulge. I thought, what a finish. That killed the game. And exactly what you said, Ed. They can just hurt you like that. Just one break and punish you like that. So, yeah, it looks like those two are cooking at a good time for City. I know Doku is out injured, so that's a little bit of a blow for them. But, yeah, it's just one thing I wasn't impressed with is how easy you can ball over the top for City now. It's not that, you know, I was watching, I was thinking, this ball kept going over the top. Sarr came in, he missed his chance, he didn't cut back and stuff. So the defense got breached quite a few times yesterday. So they're not as defensively resilient. However, as I said, going forward,
difference makers, isn't it?
It's a problem, isn't it? So there you go. Naeem, what did you think of the game? Obviously, your hometown club. So you must have been disappointed more than anyone, to be fair.
I think the key word there is clinical. I think that's what City were. I think the first goal, I think Palace were completely in. I thought Walton had a really strong game again. I think he'll be the next one being sold realistically. I think everyone will be looking at him.
The finishing was a bit iggy-piggy in it. Yeah,
and I think a bit of decision making. I think was Palace. I think if Palace had scored earlier, scored first, we might have seen a slightly different result.
Agreed
in that aspect. But I think this is, you know, the concern with City is Haaland's been firing all season. Foden, yeah, his sample size is small, but we're starting to see him come back. You know, my thoughts on the guy, and I think with no Rodri as well. Let's not forget this. You know, they're missing one of their best midfield players as well. Arsenal throwing a bit of a wobble. I think it does look on, but it's still early in the season. I do still think the reliance on Haaland is massive. As much as Foden's turned a bit of a corner, I think Ryan Cherky looks a good signing. He looks dangerous. We talked about him at the start of the season. He's setting a bit. Yeah, he's got that. Yeah, he's got that bit of something special that, you know. I mean, we'll talk about Arsenal later on, I think, but that's something that, you know, especially when you're chasing the title, to have somebody who can do something a bit different. Yeah, but I thought Palace. I think obviously we discussed this Conference League is impacting them. Small squad. I think they played, was it Thursday? They play again this week. So this is always going to be the nature of their season, a bit up and down. But I think they're still, what, 5th, 6th or something? So before obviously tonight's game. So, I think City do look autonomous, but, you know, it's still early. I still think it's early. I think we're looking January and see where we're at.
Yeah. Kofi, what did you make of the game, man?
I agree with all of you. I think Palace made a real strong start to the game. Adam Wharton is just sourcing, give that guy 1-2 more seasons and he'll be literally like in conversations with like the Caicedos and that. I genuinely believe he's a real good player like that. I think City are kind of like shaking off cobwebs and kind of like the kind of ripple effect of losing what's his name, Rodri, for such a long period of time, and I find an identity without him, which is for me quite dangerous because Rodri's one of them players. He will just slot back into the team and just do his normal like shithousery type of business, and then honestly, I never knew Phil Foden could shoot as well as he does. Like he's a shooter. Add Rodri when he comes back into that. Cherky with his jinky majinkies, and then I think what's his name, Reinders. He just has to really just get into a bit of a flow. People are in trouble. As soon as, for me, Reinders is that one key that is missing. I don't even like Doku. I'm not gonna lie. He's Ghanaians. I call him Dokno. Like he's just rubbed. I don't like him. He's finished. he's just one hit wonders. Cool, whatever. Do his thing. But for me, if Reinders gets into the flow, everybody's in trouble, and United are 1-0 up.
Yeah.
Diallo.
Yeah, I think, guys. I think with City, look, as I said, I think with Haaland there, as I said, I watched it yesterday, and I watched when I watch a game, I always look at teams defensively, and I always look at obviously offensively, basic stuff. But I did look at them. I think, they could get. I don't know. It just seems they get breached so easily now. It's just like a ball over the top, and it's problems for them. But yeah, I agree. I think obviously Rodri's missing. We don't know how he's going to be when he comes back. Knee injury, especially at his age as well.
He might be cooked.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, is he going to come back? He's not going to come back the same. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that sort of knee injury that time, but yeah, they're looking dangerous. But again, is it just me? But I don't. Yeah, I don't really fear them like that. I don't think the league is in trouble. I don't. I do think there was a time before with City where I used to look at them and think, yeah, this team is not. You can't beat this team. But with City, I do think you can beat them. You know what I mean? But listen, they've finished their chances. And one thing is they're clinical. And when you've got, a centre forward that can do that, and you're right, Ed, if Foden is chipping in as well with the goals, it's going to be a problem. We'll see if the big question is, can Haaland stay fit for the whole season? Is he going to stay
injury prone like that, though? That's the thing. I hear what you're saying in terms of they're not the City of old, 2, 3, 4 years ago. City in this position, you're thinking, okay, cool. It's rudimentary, innit? They're going to go and get the title and wrap it up. Like you said, this year, defensively, like you said, they're still not as strong as previous years. But when you've got difference makers like Haaland, Foden now, Shirky can get amongst the goals. I know he's a top creator, but if you can get amongst the goals, that attack can help them get somewhere, man. Like I'm not. It's ominous. But it's not as ominous as it was, like I said, 2-3 seasons ago. You still have to pay them their respects. They've been there, done that. They know how to win league titles. It's just you don't want to see Foden join Haaland. You don't want to see a 2-man step or a 3-man step. You just want it to be Haaland. If you could shut off Haaland, you're hoping that, Doku has an off day, Foden has an off day. But when Foden is now playing and balling and scoring and then, creating, assisting, it makes it a very, 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 very hard a proposition to deal with.
But that's the thing, though, Ed. With what Naeem said as well, is that word there, clinical, because I'm not seeing balling. I know what we're saying. I'm seeing they're very, very, very clinical. And look, we look at the Fulham game as well. I mean, if that Fulham game was played for another 3 minutes more, that could have been a very embarrassing. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the game, and yesterday, of course, Palace did finish their chances. It doesn't matter. So I'm not really seeing them balling. They're being very clinical and they're taking their chances as well. But I don't know. I mean, they're going to be there or thereabouts. There's no question about that.
You know what City do? City do this. They'll do it second half of the season. They do it every year. They'll turn on. Bear in mind, transfer window opens in 2 weeks. And I wouldn't be surprised if they spend a bit of money. There's talk about Semedo going there as well, isn't it? They're looking at him.
Semenyo,
Well, Nelson Semedo's going City.
No, they're looking at that.
Yeah, there's talk of them buying.
So he might not go to Liverpool. They're looking at.
I've heard that's, you don't know now with the cup, but there's talk that they'll be going in the market because that's Sevilla. Is it that Savinho they bought? Doesn't really play, does he? And I think they'll be out. Maybe a look at them replacing. That's what So with they've got obviously the financial power as well in January to strengthen up if and where they need to, relatively, of course, what's available in the market. So I think you've got to keep an eye on them. I think.
Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like almost some of the early Pep teams because I've always said Pep builds incredible offensive teams, but defensively, apart from when he probably had like a Carlos Puyol and Piqué at the back, and then he had Dani Alves at right back, and he probably had Abidal at left back. Any team ever since that kind of early Barcelona team have always struggled defensively. He's built midfield and forward powerhouses. So I think this is just reminiscent of that. probably in the next season and a half, you'll see him manage to regain a good defensive team, and that's when
If
again it'll be
he's
locked up.
that's if he's here. Do you know what's so interesting though? And this is I gotta touch on that point though about defensively with City. Obviously, I see how many goals they've conceded, but this is probably the first time since Pep has been here that nobody talks about their centre backs in that sort of. Before, when we used to talk about the best centre backs in the league, you were talking about Diaz. Remember, you used to. I'm not saying he was. Obviously, Van Dijk was always at that level, but you would mention City defenders like, oh my gosh, you know, like Walker all the time is going to be one of the best there. But you would mention their centre backs, like they were like, oh my god, they've got Ford, they've got Kanji, they've got, you know, Garvado, they've got you know, Diaz, they've got John Stones.
Still there.
This is like the first time.
Ake still there as well. Jesus,
bro, I don't even whether they're playing or not. I'm not thinking, oh, are they going to be easier to beat today? It's literally if Haaland is playing. I think everyone's looking at Haaland, Rodri. That's it. If them two are out, you're thinking, right, you know.
Yeah,
but I'm not saying that they're not going to win the league. I'm just saying it's interesting that it's the first time.
The centre backs that they bought, apart from Guardiola, they've never really been name brand. So I do reckon the system helped elevate the profile of the centre back. I don't think individually or even as a tandem, the centre backs were that cold. It's just they were better than everybody else, and you know they were steamrolling teams, and you couldn't even get the ball off them in their pump.
That's their defense was control of the ball. That's
midfield forward powerhouses.
Yeah. If you look at that Barcelona team, to your point earlier, Kofi, they had the ball for 80% of the game.
Yeah,
you're not getting that ball.
They closed down.
They were playing Mascherano and Touré.
So the system always helped them. I don't think it was a situation where they really had to defend. So we're rating them, but they were never really tested. So
but when they did have to defend, they had Mascherano who was just siving man down.
Yeah, I hear it. But I'm even talking about like Pep and his City players. Like they never really had to defend that crazy.
Company was there though. We're forgetting that one. You know, like Company had his run. But listen, look, City are definitely cooking. We're gonna go up into a very Villa's definitely entered the title race now. In third place here, a team that started quite slow in the season, Ed. Not really scoring. You're thinking the summer wasn't great. Everyone's saying that they probably had one of the worst summers. You know, Morgan Rogers was flirting with going. It was like, oh, looks like the bubbles burst. No Champions League football for them. So it was looking a bit techie, but listen, they keep winning. It is a little bit of close shaves and it's definitely a lot of drama. But as you know, Ed, it's Unai Emery. So it's always going to be theatre with him. You know, obviously the last second winner against Arsenal. And then again, you know, going down 1-0 or losing the lead twice at West Ham to finish 3-2 with Morgan Rogers with especially second goal. Amazing, man. Unai Emery has entered the title race. Ed, what's your thoughts on that, man? I know he's always on your Christmas card list, and you've got fond memories of him as the Arsenal manager.
They haven't entered the title race. They're
oh my god!
No. Not saying that, but you know, with Emery, listen, water is wet. He's a good manager, but I've always said this: he is better at overachieving than actually achieving. So he can go to a Villa. Go to a Villarreal, go to Sevilla and elevate them. But then when he has to go to a PSG and Arsenal and elevate them or keep the status quo, it's not always looking good. So with Villa, they're doing well now. They're in a great run of form. Villa Park is a fortress. I'll give them that. But with Villa, you know that when they need to get a result, when they really need to get a result and either get top four or win something, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it because...
Bro, do you honestly think that?
The proof's in the pudding. They was in the top 4 race last year. What happened? Europa League. They had to beat you guys at the end of last season to get top 4, and they melted.
Bro, Martinez wanted out of the club. He was doing that because he wanted to go United.
Even if that's the case, the proof's in the pudding. They needed to beat you guys, and you were woeful. You finished 16th, right? So you was getting slapped at home, left, right last year. Yeah, regular stuff is just, They had to go to your ground and win. And what happened? They let you guys beat them. So this is a hallmark of an Emery team. This season,
bro, but man's won Europa finals. You can't say that's a hallmark of Emery team. Man's got trophies under his belt.
I know, but we're talking about the league, though. What did
I say? What did I say? I said he is better at overachieving than he is achieving at a top club. It's cool to win with Sevilla.
Okay.
It's cool to win with Villarreal. Those are amazing feats. But why did he get sacked at PSG and why did he get sacked at Arsenal?
PSG was a mess. Arsenal as well at the time was a mess.
Mess or no mess? Those are two Premier clubs, yeah, two top level clubs. Bro, why did he get sacked?
Fam, we had Jose Mourinho at a mess of a Man United. I genuinely think Jose Mourinho is still a very good manager. Like he's called a lot.
What year is
he's called a lot of players. He's called a lot of players as good players. Me, admittedly, I didn't think Scott McTominay was a good player, but watching him do what he's doing in Napoli is actually a mad thing. And Jose done said this almost 10 years ago, right? We had him at a United that was an absolute mess. There's nothing you can do when the structure around you is a mess. Arsenal are proof in the pudding, right? You've settled down under Arteta. You've decided to bite the bullet and actually say, this is turbulent, but let's give this brother time. Like the first 2 years were looking mythical for him, right? Still, you can say Arteta hasn't won nothing in his actual full tenure, has he?
Apart from the FA Cup, no.
Did he really win that? Or was that Emery's team?
Oh my God!
He won it, man. He won it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God! But was it actually his team? Because ever since it's been his,
why does it have to be? You have to be the coach, isn't it? You can't. Would you mean his team? Oh, you have to be the coach. That's what happens. Okay, so
I know that's what he used to beat him with, but he won it.
So in 2021, did Tuchel he win the Champions League with Chelsea?
That won his team.
No, it won his team.
But did he win it?
No one says.
Okay, there we go. But that's your answer.
No, he did win it, but I'll have the same argument. I don't
think anybody says that though. But look, I know
nobody does. Everybody's piping up about Arsenal just because you guys talk too much, So people just want to give excuses just to
exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of them people. That's why I can say it.
No, that's when I knew you were being facetious. But no, I think. Listen, I think. Look, they're 3 points off the top, and we're in December now. Mid-December now, so for me they're in the title race because
they'll fall off.
Maybe so, but currently they're in the title race because if Manchester City lose on the weekend and Arsenal lose, do you know what I mean? They could go joint top or they can close that gap. So for me, they're in the title race. Are they going to win the title? That's another thing. But I think that Unai Emery 100% deserves a lot of credit for the job that he's done at Aston Villa because I hear Ed's point, like, we know Emery, is he going to fall off and stuff, but this is the best we've seen Villa
since O'Neill days, since Martin O'Neill.
Bro, actually, I think it's the first Prem when under Ron Atkinson when they came second to Man United. This is because they're flirting. I know O'Neill was up there, but he was flirting with top four. But this is like, they've done well to hold on to their players. But yeah, I mean, look, I think it's pretty exciting to have them in there, to have someone else there, rather it just be, it's just going to be City and stuff. How long would they stay there? I don't know. Naeem, what's your thoughts on Villa? It looks like their players are starting to cook. Players are coming on the bench. Bendia comes off on the bench. Last Saturday gets the winner, Morgan Rogers. Remember, people saying he's finished at the beginning of the season. He was looking finished. I thought he was space jammed, but he's come back now, and he's not messing about.
Well, that's the catalyst from when the first 4 games. I think they score a goal.
He
weren't playing that well. He started turning the corner, and then you see it. He's their superstar as a football player. He plays well. The team plays well. I think everyone made some very fair points, but you've got to give Emery, when he's got some stability, and I think he made a really good point. When he's got some stability, when he did have at Villarreal, he does generally deliver within reason. I think for him, it's big personalities. He just can't manage within. If you look at the PSG, obviously was like a soap opera. But then when he was at Arsenal, we had Ozil, Aubameyang. We all know that Ozil didn't give him any respect. There was a clash between them straight away. So I think that's where it is, his personality. I don't think you have as much bar. I think Martinez now, he didn't have that. He was quite humble when he first went to Villa. So I think you've got to give him all the credit. I think they will. I think when the Europa League comes down, Emery will turn to type. That's his trophy, right?
100%.
You know what? He's more likely to go winning that, get back in the Champions League that way. Then, especially with the top four, you expect Chelsea to be around there. I've said it. United keep everyone fit. You don't know they're going to be fifth if whether it's going still. So you don't know. There's always surprise packages. Sunderland, United. I'm putting them in obviously the same bracket. So no. So you've got to give Villa their full. And I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I think they keep their first 11 fit. Morgan Rogers mainly. I think Onana's been good for them as well.
Yeah.
This season. But yeah, let's see. Long way to go still. But I think they probably will burn out. But I expect them to get Europe, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go win that Europa League.
They're definitely good enough to win the Europa League. Like I said, Emery's got previous. My thing with Emery is, what's your right name? Give him all the credit for elevating Villa to their heights right now. We've seen it before. When he needs to achieve, he doesn't achieve, and that's not a knock on him like that. It's just that's the hallmark of his career.
Maybe at Villa he will at this time because I think it's the bright lights, the personalities, which he can't manage.
Probably
he doesn't come across that sort of kind of guy, does he? Like we were talking about Jose Mourinho before. He sort of commands a bit of respect when he talks. Emery just seems respect. I think
he has a ceiling. I don't think it's about personality. I just think his ceiling is, I'm better at going to like a mid-table club and elevating them than going to a top-tier club with more demands, more pressure, and elevating them or keeping them afloat. That's what I think.
Of course, Villa is a big. If we talk about compared to like something like a Villarreal, they are a bigger club. If you think, I know be careful when you go to Birmingham. Be careful when you go to Birmingham, but
no, they are Villa. Villa are one of the biggest teams in
European champions. We less forget.
Yeah, listen, I know, but they won that in 1982. I was born in '89. I'm 36. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
No, I think this you're talking to. I'm agreeing with you in terms of the Villas. Probably he's, but they're not that smaller. I wouldn't compare him to Villa. Maybe like a Valencia.
I'm no disrespect to Villa. I'm saying that the type of manager he is. He's always better at elevating mid-table clubs or teams that got aspirations for top four than to go to a Chelsea. Put it this way, yeah. If he leaves tomorrow, are PSG going to holler him? No. Will Chelsea holler him? No. Will United holler him? No. Will Arsenal holler him? No.
To go Spurs. No.
Bayern Munich? No. So that's what I'm saying. So like the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. And I think Villa is that. Villa was that mid-table team though. But he took over from Gerrard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And look what he's done a great job with them. And I think this is it. Win the Europa League. I don't think they'll get the top four.
Good manager.
You know what? I'm gonna disagree. I think that would be a real smart move because the fact that Chelsea employed Potter and employed Maresca, I think now this is Emery's redemption. I think at Arsenal he wasn't given enough time.
That's true.
He didn't have the backing of the board. Maybe that's something to do with Edu there as well. But he's definitely, it seems, and he's got every right to feel a little bitter about when he looks at Arteta. He must be thinking, this is like my younger little cousin that just seems to be getting, the breaks at Arsenal that I didn't get. And to be fair, why? When I've achieved so much and I deserved more time. Because when you actually think about it, I know obviously I'm very happy with Arteta and many Arsenal supporters are. But if we're going to be fair, Arteta got a lot more time, money spent. So he's obviously bitter about that. He's gone to Villa, but I'm sorry, if I was Manchester United and I was thinking, right, who am I, after he's spell at Villa now, who would I go for, or Chelsea? I think he'll make a good Chelsea manager. I think he'll make a good United manager. That's the sort of safe sort of pair of hands that I would go with now. I think he didn't get long enough in the Premier League. Ed, I agree with you. We're the same way. Like when it comes to certain things, they're falling a bit short. But I'm looking at this now, and I think he's kind of proven himself to say, yeah, he's not going to get the Liverpool job or what have you, but I do think Chelsea or Man United, if Man United lose their manager now, personally, I would be looking from the work that he's done at Villa. I would be looking and go and get Emery because I just think
him.
That's fair. But again, you've all proved my point. The only reason he will get that job now is because Man United are in flux. Not because if this was Man United that were winning leagues, he did. No chance. No matter the good job he does at Villa.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So there's a reason. Chelsea and United now, because they're not no longer the powerhouses, you can go and get Emery. It will make sense. But if they're winning titles and winning Champions Leagues, you don't pick up the phone and call Emery. No way. And this is
just to play devil's advocate. If Slot goes, who are Liverpool looking to replace him with?
They'll get somebody, but it won't be Emery. And I can tell that.
Why not?
It's just
Jenny, why not?
Because there's something about Emery, for love nor money, he's just not that favourable. And
Did you not like him that much at his time in Arsenal?
I felt sorry for him with hindsight. When he was at Arsenal, I wanted him gone. There was it was beef. It was beef. The way we were playing football, it was dark times, man. But looking back, it was a poison chalice. He got the job after Wenger. We know how bad that went with Wenger in his latter years. There was civil unrest within the fan base. There were 3 or 4 camps beefing. You go to Emirates, it's not a nice place to go. Even when we win, we have to win a certain way. It was dark times, man. Dark times, right? And even in all that, he finished 5th his first season and got us to a major European final, our first since 2006. So it wasn't all doom and gloom. It's just...
Yeah, our strikers scoring, man.
Got a golden boot, of course. But again, it's like my brother here, Nobs, always uses the analogy, yeah? Your parents split up, your mum marries a new guy. You're not rating the new dad, innit? You're stepdad. You're giving him all sorts of hell because you ain't my dad. You can't talk to me like that. Blatant disrespect. That was Emery. We're used to Wenger. No matter how bad it was, Wenger, modern era, that was the dad of New Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
So for Emery, and also as well, the media killed him a little bit with the good evening and all that kind of stuff. And listen, he was trying his best, but unfortunately,
that was very disrespectful.
It was nasty. It was nasty.
Honestly, really, I thought that was very, very, very nasty. What I found hilarious though, I would say was some of the British press, but also you would just say the normal man on social media. That good evening. This is a man who can speak Spanish,
English,
he can speak French, and he can speak at a decent level of English.
Yeah.
And most people don't even know how to speak English properly, and they're English. And it was the nerve of it. And what disappointed me more, and I'm going to admit, what disappointed me more is when I saw other ethnic fans on social media. This is where I have a problem. When I see other ethnics making fun of,
foreigners,
someone who speaks more than one language, that's when I think, okay, we need to check ourselves, because if it was your mums or pops or aunties that were in the public eye and people are like, oh yeah, should we just make fun of the accent? It was just, it was very distasteful, to be fair. And I think that kind of devalued him. It was like this lack of respect there from him. And I actually think that was at that time, he actually suffered as an Arsenal manager, because Arsenal's that sort of club that you just kind of go for people. Obviously, if you don't support Arsenal, it's kind of the gone thing, right? Let's just try to mug Arsenal off. And at that time, Arsenal were quite weak, and it was easier to do it. And that's why I have to give Arteta his credits. When I hear that people say, oh, I dislike Arteta, I hate him, I actually kind of respect it, because now he's put Arsenal, or as an Arsenal manager, you can only talk about botting with me. You can't talk to me about coaching. You can't talk to me about defensive work. You can't talk to me. The only thing you can come up and say, oh, you've bottled it. As a manager, no one will admit it. If he gets it over the line or what have you, no one will admit it. But if Arteta was linked with your club, you'll probably be thinking, whether I like him or not, that's fine. But this is a solid manager we're getting here. And you would, Kofi.
I'm not capping. I wouldn't. I personally, I don't like him as a manager. I don't like his managers personally. I don't like.
What don't you like about it? You're from the era where you had managers who were telling players, when you go out there, kick them,
Yeah,
surround referees,
yeah,
give people good wine.
yeah.
So I hope you're not talking about ethical stuff here. Of
No,
what
it's
is
not
it that
about ethical. I
Arteta's
said I don't
doing?
like the way he plays football, how he sets his team up. I
Oh,
don't.
do you like Amorim? Just for context.
Hell no.
Okay.
I want the brother gone. I don't like this. Like Amorim, like I'm watching United. Yeah. I don't. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it. I'm like you.
No, but I
I'm
want to
like
say,
you. And what's
with your Arteta, let's revisit that and then we're going to move on. But yeah, what is it you don't like the way he sets his teams up?
I personally don't think Arteta usually plays with the thought of going for broke. Like there's times you watch it, like it's like he's coaching with the handbrake 75% off. There's that 25% you can go extra. Like this is me as a non-Arsenal fan watching Arsenal thinking, well, why are you making that change? Like over the weekend, you don't need to play Zubimendi and Rice. You don't. Get what's his name on. I personally would have gone all out. I would have played what's his name? Eze and Noni.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm going for broke. Like let Dex sit in the 6. Yes, you want him charging forward. Actually, let him be a bit more disciplined. Let him sit in the 6. Go for it. If you really are that far open, then cool. Bring on somebody just to rein it in. But you're at home. You're playing Wolves.
It's 1-1.
Woohoo! Semenyo, yeah? Hey.
Bro, the guy's been cooking United since summer,
what?
man.
You know what? We're gonna. You see this United and this link to Liverpool and all of the and City and all of this stuff. Listen, I think we need to have a word because I know he's a even bigger Arsenal fan than Eze. Just sit tight. We'll wait till the summer. Yeah, we'll come and get you. But listen, look,
release clause, hasn't he? There's still a first 10 days of the season, 65 mil.
That's a lie, man. Make it happen. That's a lie.
Yeah, but for me, that's light. But no,
I don't think Arsenal can do it, Jan. They can't.
Look, that's been coming.
Kofi, I do hear that. Put the handbrakes on and stuff. And look, it is frustrating at the end of the day where you think, I think we should be going for more. But this is the same thing that Man United supporters were echoing when you were finishing second with Jose. You were actually saying the same thing. He's negative. He's, we should be going. You should have the handbrakes on, and then you're finishing 16th. You're conceding goals. You're soft. You're easy to beat, but you're good going forward. So you've got everything up top, and at the back it's like a pancake.
Is this with Amorim you're talking about?
No, I'm just talking about with Manchester United. You've literally Jose was so bad. It was really, really bad. But remember, you had the best City team that we've probably seen in this Premier League. This is who you were going for, and he's finishing second. And you guys were like, "This is rubbish. He's rubbish." You were booing him off the pitch, you know.
Not me personally, no.
Not you, but look where you are now.
Yeah, the thing is, let's rewind it. So we had what? We had Jose, then we had Solskjaer, we had Ragnick for a little bit, and then
also
we had
Solskjaer as well. Yeah.
When was Van Gaal?
Van Gaal was
before Jose, wasn't it? Before Jose.
Like, put this: if you like techie football and you watch European football, then cool. Van Gaal made sense, and I watched. Obviously, I'm watching them. I understood what Van Gaal wanted to do, but you were falling asleep watching that football. Like side to side. Okay, cool. One ball over the top. Di Maria. Who else was there? Who else was just making?
You had Rooney, you had Di Maria. Rooney said that's the best of a coach, isn't it? He said in terms of a coach. But you were falling asleep. But you were
because Man United, you watch Man United historically, gung ho, going forward, down the wings, balls it, all of that stuff. Cool. Jose Mourinho probably was the best balance between all the managers that we've had. I was a fan of Jose. The only thing I didn't like was when you added Pogba in it. I'm a Pogba fan. I didn't like it, but I got it because Pogba is the definition of player power era, if there ever was one. Like, it's almost like no matter what he did, to a degree, he thought his aura was bigger than the club to a degree, but that's because they brought him in doing madness. Well, you disagree?
I don't think he was the issue.
He wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think he thought he was bigger than the club. The club were in flux and said, okay, cool, let's go and get Pogba, give him all the commercials. I remember Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes made a brilliant point on their podcast. They said, listen, back in our day, obviously it's different times. Back in our day, the commercial side, you do your commercial stuff,
one day,
you never get in the way of playing football.
And
no one at the club could protect Pogba from the commercial monolith that United wanted to create. So it wasn't his fault. I just think,
it wasn't his fault. But when you're thrusted into that, and sadly, you know your power, like your selling power. The guy was just selling shirts and all of this stuff galore. Like media knew if you put Paul Pogba's name on anything, it's selling. So that's what it was at that time. So he's not a stupid youth. He knew that there was a lot of power around him. I'm not saying that inflated his ego or anything like that, but he knew that I have the power. And next thing you know, Jose's gone.
Yeah.
That defined player power. Yeah. Clash of thing. Jose was like, no, I want the John Terrys, the ones that will go out and down the pitch. Pog was like, yeah, I like the pretty game and this, that, the other, and I'm making the club this much money. Like he knows all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Anyways, fast forward, move on to Ollie. I personally think Ollie had the best United team that we've seen in a long time, because if you think about the players that United had, we had
Martial, Rashford.
Huh?
Martial, Rashford, Pogba.
Martial, Rashford, Poppin, Lingard, Ibrahimovic. Who else was there? Lukaku, bloody Sancho came in. Okay, R7 came in, a washed R7, but he came in. Like that's a huge team. But sadly for him, he had no tactical nous in it. It literally, you was watching it. It was freestyle football all the time.
Well, it was counter-attacking team.
Yeah,
you're proper. But that's what I'm saying. So coming back to the point is that these managers that United wanted out, this guy's he's got no tactical, and you've got Emery in here that's breaking every single record. So the thing, and something that doesn't get pointed out with Manchester United was, unfortunately, there's a lot of you guys that I have to say that are literally dinosaurs in terms of your football knowledge and how you view football. Because you say, oh, look at Man United back in the day, bro. What are we talking about? What, 1999 football?
What are we talking about?
That football. The game has changed. Do you know what killed the game? That swashbuckling football you thought you can play or be very clever and playing Ryan Giggs in there. His name is right now, and he's in the other side of your city. Pep Guardiola came here with Barca and said, do you know what, bro? Whatever you've got, twice, I'm going to kill this notion of you build the best teams, and I'm going to have 5'5" midfield players, and I'm going to show you, because the way you guys talk about Scholes, Carrick, all of these guys, you say, they just said, I'm going to change football now. And I just feel United, it's been a long time where they've played so many different ways. You've had Jose, you've had, what's his name again? Louis van Gaal. These are actually like Champions League winners, man. Legends here. You can't get it right.
No.
And you're still talking about the swashbuckling. You can't play 4-4-2, bro. Like the game is...
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. But at the same time, you can't play a 3-1-4, whatever my man is playing. Like you can't play this formation, bro. Like you're leaving Casemiro in midfield by himself to drown, and people are saying Casemiro is the problem.
Huh? Weekly belt to ash. Just hold that, man.
Literally, what's your name? Toby or some shit. What? So
no, it's cool. No, you're right. But the thing is I think I'm getting to the stage now that I don't even think United supporters know what the best way is. You can't do, because I've listened to this for years now. Like, let's go this way, let's go that way. And every single player that gets signed, you knew Casemiro was washed, and you guys still were trying to sell it. This is the guy for us.
No.
It's been happening non-stop. Now it was obviously Cunha now in the summer now. Watch what we're going to do. It's kind of like I'm watching United now, even with the managers. It's like you're looking around thinking, okay, how can I...
I'm wondering what United fans you listen to right now. I'm not going to lie.
Bro, a lot. And I think, I think sometimes in life, I think the Liverpool supporters had to deal with it as well. When Fergie came on, they just had to say, look, this manager, as long as he's here, we're not going to be doing anything. And I think Pep Guardiola's landed and said, no matter what you do, I run this city. You're not going to move a dime. you're gonna move a gram in this city whilst I'm here. Spend $1 billion. You better pray he just goes. Once he goes,
But he
then
needs to
I
go
think
international
maybe.
football, man. Just get out of here. He needs to go
Bro,
international.
no, honestly, I don't think you're gonna have any answers for him. There's nothing that
No,
when
bro.
City are here, you don't matter what you're doing.
But you
You're
say
not
that the only person that is
2-1
able
United,
to not.
Casemiro. You were just cussing him, by the way.
Who was cussing him? I'm here saying no, Cass is not washed. You just need
No,
somebody who can play football alongside him. That's it. You can't leave him alone. I've said for years, Bruno Fernandes would never see my United team. He wouldn't be in my team.
Wasn't Casemiro playing with Tony Cruz before we came to?
Yeah, he was an actual smart footballer who held his position.
That was really midfield. So he's just really exposed at Man United.
Bro, again, if you look at United, we have, for argument's sake, today we've got Heaven, I think it's Dallo, Ahmad, and I don't know who's playing alongside him. I'm just gonna say legit. Delit. I'm gonna say Delit. Yeah. So realistically, Ahmad and Dallo are forward. They're forming a 5 in midfield. We've got Delit, Heaven.
The goalkeeper nightmare from the goalkeeper. Sorry.
Good horror show. We've got Delit, Heaven, and let's say it's Luke Shaw, who's forming the back three, right? 9 times out of 10, either Luke Shaw or Delit or Heaven, any one of them will be left just in the back, right? Casemiro is in the center point. Bruno should be sitting within close proximity of him. Why is my man in the 6-yard box?
Because he's your main.
I'm
with you, but he's
not. Be the
no, I think he's your main. But he's your main creator. But listen, look, we've been talking about the stages. No, I do love how Kofi. He wasn't actually Man United were not even on the schedule today, but you see this guy, yeah. We're talking about Emery, and we're back on United. We are going to move on, unfortunately, for Manchester United supporters, to discuss Arsenal, who grab a dramatic late win to stay top. Naeem against Wolves, bottom club. A win is a win. The result had, I'll start because I always think for you guys to start. But look, it wasn't a great performance. No. It was a pretty bad performance at home. Very, very still. However, I'm in the camp with you just lost the game to Villa last minute. You're down in the dump. Sometimes when you lose a game and you're not used to losing games, it's not great. You've got Wolves at home. I thought all the pressure was on Arsenal. Like, you just have to go out there and perform. We had a fantastic performance against FC Bruges in the Champions League. So it was cooking. It looked quite exciting. And it wasn't a great game at all. I think, quite impotent in terms of attack-wise as well. But look, got 2 own goals. Obviously, quite 2 fortunate goals. Obviously, when Saka's corner went in, you thought, all right, maybe the floodgates will start to open. However, something I'm concerned with is what happened at Villa. Once we score a goal, we didn't all start retreating and becoming very, and I'm like, right, but we're at home now. Go on and get the second. Why are you inviting pressure? Obviously, Gyökeres was substituted, and it gets even worse after that because you're not going to have much pressing. So I was a bit disappointed. However, I sat here and think not everything is perfect in life, and it wasn't a great performance. You saw the way Declan Rice was towards the end of the game. He was just like, guys, I'm not really on this. Hence why I've said time after time, I was lambasted. That is the Arsenal captain. When my good captain, who has delivered 4 league titles, 2 with George Graham, and he decided to share 2 doubles with the great Arsene Wenger. And when Tony Adams is just saying who he feels should be Arsenal captain, I think we should be allowed to have these conversations without people getting criticised, especially if he's the most successful captain in the history of Arsenal. There's a lot of, I mentioned on the group chat, I'm watching a lot of Arsenal supporters, the younger ones maybe, the less knowledgeable Arsenal supporters, being offended when past winners speak. But they will sit there on a podcast and watch Roy Keane and say, yeah, he can say what he wants about Man United because he is a captain and he has won. But when it comes to Arsenal players and ex-players who have won things, now all of a sudden they can't. They go against the manager. If they go against certain players, or what do they know? They're not a manager. They're not a good manager. Well, Roy Keane didn't achieve anything in management. Steve Bruce didn't achieve anything in management.
Gary Neville.
But Roy Keane is probably the most sought after football pundit there. People want him on the show. They want to listen to him because he's there. He's won these things. And I'm seeing this more and more. And he came out in the summer. People were going for it. I can't believe it. You do know that guy's got a statue outside the Emirates, you know? This guy's got a statue that these other guys haven't. And he's just come up and said, this is the captain we should go for. And you saw it on Saturday. I wasn't going to mention it, but very poignant. Where we were screaming and celebrating that goal, the own goal that Gabriel Jesus obviously did well to get there. And he was just like, bro, madam, are you okay? Calm down. We should have drawn this game here. So again, I looked at that and thought that was quite poignant. But look, as I said, life is not perfect. And if we had played well and Gyökeres had scored 4 and Saka had passed and Odegaard was the best 10 I've ever seen, and we drew that game or we lost that game, I would be fuming. So right now as an Arsenal supporter, my priority is points. Then performance. Then I'll be bothered about individual. My boy Ed, I rate him. That's why I love him. Because he's brought me down to people are getting gassed about how many goals Gyökeres should get. I think the priority for Arsenal Football Club should be getting over the line. Points, then performance, team performance, and then all of these individual, because we've had golden boots with Aubameyang. We've had all of these players of the year, and we can't get over the line. So I understand people are going to be angry with the performance. You're not going to play well in all games. But the points will go, because if we would have drawn that and City go into Palace, it would have been more detrimental. So that's me on that one. Edward, your thoughts?
Before we mention it's Gyökeres' fault, isn't it? Remember, it's his fault. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, Gyökeres stank, so therefore the whole team stank. And when he stinks, you know, he costs us. We're playing with 10 men, and yeah, I hear it, man. Yeah, Gyökeres stinks, so yeah, I hear it. But you know, we won, man. We won. That's the most important thing. We won. It was a dreadful performance. Very flat. I was out for my boy's birthday. Watched the first half, and yeah, I was just thinking, we just toiled. We really toiled. The thing about Arsenal football, we were raised, especially under Wenger, to move the ball quickly, back to front quickly, 2, 3, 4 pass moves. We toil on the ball too much, man. We toil on the ball. Everything is labored. It's not quick enough. It's not incisive enough. And against Wolves, listen, I know they came to, you know, be defensive, compact, but we're Arsenal. We're better than them. Each to a man. 1 to 11, bench. Our reserves, they're bottom. They've got 2 points. Even if a team comes and sits on a low block, we should have magicians on the pitch to pick locks, to move the ball quicker. Diag, move their defense around. We just don't do that enough, man. It's so frustrating to watch. But at the end of the day, we won. The 3 points is customary because, like Norbert said, if we had lost that game or drawn that game and then Palace lose to City, then it's issues. So we need to make sure that we don't do the same thing again against Everton, and that's going to be a tough game next week. But just keep on winning, guys. That's why I said a couple of weeks ago, it's one game at a time. Because I've seen this before. Everyone's getting gassed in November. Yeah, we haven't lost a game. Leagues ain't won in November, man. Leagues ain't won in November. They certainly lost though. So we need to be careful. We just need to make sure that we do our job, and we're doing that.
And Ed, I second that as well. Obviously, I know we're doing this tag team stuff at the moment, but maybe I think we're both in sync on this because I was told to calm down. Oh, bro, calm down against Sunderland. Why are you so upset about that? It's a tough place to go. I'm like, you go 2-1 up against Sunderland. I expect you to finish with the 3 points. You drop 2 points. So the 2 would be 4 now. The same with Chelsea. You go to Chelsea, Casado's moving mad. He's nervous because obviously there's a certain England international that everyone says he's better than. So you should be confident when you're on the pitch when I see him. If someone says Knobs, yeah, there's some next guy over here, but you're better than him. I'll be like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna start moving mad, and when I see him, I'm comfortable, shake his hand, and say, let's play football. But obviously, he lost the plot. They get a red card in the first half, and we could see the goal from a corner after they're down to 10 men. Their best player, by the way. Remember, Casado's the best DM that's ever existed. Remember, Chelsea, like their players. Remember, I haven't heard Casado for about 3 weeks since that. Have you heard Casado mentioned anywhere in the media after that draw?
No.
I don't even know.
Out of mind, though, and it's suspended.
Suspended it.
I'm being facetious. But look, at the end of the day, now all of a sudden, I thought against 10 men, we go 1-0 down. I thought, okay, cool. We equalize. And I said we should have finished them off. A 10-man Chelsea, you've got to finish them off. We didn't. I was told, look, it's a good point as well. So that's another 2. So now we're looking at 6 points, sitting comfortably 6 points. And then you go away to Villa. You go 1-0 down, poor. You equalize early. And rather than going on now and pushing on, you sit back and you have like a NBA Jam basketball game where it's back to forth, back to front. You got Odegaard that can't hold on to the ball. Zubimendi, they can't hold on to the ball at Villa. No control in the game. Impotent up front again. And then they get the last minute winner. Odegaard shuffling at I'm just trying to think, a defective rave 2013. There's bare shuffling.
Man, just skanking,
yeah, skanking, just going on. Only thing was missing was the glasses. You know what I mean?
The only thing.
Right, can somebody clear this ball? That's why I was so shocked that when they all dropped to their knees when Brendia's goal went in. Why are you shocked? You might declare the ball. But anyway, it happens. And we drop more points. So even if we had another point there and saw that game out, adding on the ones that we've lost, we would have been 7 points clear now.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that do to City when they're looking at, we're 7 points behind this team? So when people talk about, oh, it's a good point and this and that, and what's Gyökeres doing, and, the performances, I'm about points. I'm treating points like I'm treating money now. Where's my money? That's my priority.
It's Gyökeres' fault. Remember, that's the line. It's Gyökeres' fault. It's Gyökeres' fault.
Gyökeres was out for Chelsea game. It's Gyökeres' fault.
It's still his fault, man. It's still his fault. Remember. Because
that's a question. Where was Arsenal's best performance in the Premier League this season?
Probably Burnley. Probably Burnley.
Best complete performance, because I'm struck.
Oh, Burnley. You're talking about what our best performance
this season.
Oh, full stop. Bayern Munich at home.
No, in the Premier League. Champions League different. I think
Premier League.
Burnley. I'd say Burnley. I think we looked all right.
At Forest, we look good at home to Forest.
I think my concern with Arsenal is that it's devoid of ideas. I think against Wolves, they're
Spurs at home.
Oh yeah.
4-1. If you're not happy with that,
we're talking about, and you've made some points then about in terms of some of the points that have been dropped. If you're going to win the title, like we're talking about Everton being a tough game. If you're going to win the title, you should go to Everton and bang them up 3-0. Right? That's my personal thoughts. My concern with Arsenal is that I haven't seen a complete performance, a proper complete. But I'll take Champions League out. It always seems to be a bit different in Europe. That game on the weekend was awful, right? And my only concern with it is, and you know me, I'm always objective. I'm the diplomatic one here. Sorry, the camera. Is Madueke scored a fantastic goal on the week, a fantastic goal in the Champions League. Why aren't you playing him, right? We know Martinelli, especially against low blocks, doesn't do anything, right? Let's be honest. So him, or we play Eze left wing, or we played something. It felt like, even with Gyökeres, I know you lots of my view, but Gyökeres in that sort of thing, when you got a low block, there's no space for nothing. I felt tactically Arsenal set up to, you're playing the bottom team, 2 points. It was I think the point about the handbrake, he goes in with, we've discussed this I think early in the season, the shook ones thing we're terminology. He goes in a bit scared. Against Wolves, that shouldn't be the case.
All right, let me challenge that.
I think Gabriel's a massive miss for that back line. As much as we talk about how good, I think he's the boss of that back line, right? Yeah. And I think he's against Villa.
Unoffensively as well.
Yeah. But I've got some concerns in the league in terms of we have against low blocks, which everyone's doing, because Wolves didn't do that against United, did they? They went out and decided to try and play against them. Madly enough, right?
Disrespectful.
Yeah, but that's what they did, right? So he made that 4 goals. They're going to get. This is going to be most of the season like this. Everton are going to do exactly the same thing, and the concern for me is that the ball is too slow. They've got slower and slower every season. So I have concerns in that aspect.
I hear that, Naim. I'm going to challenge you on that. And I agree with what you're saying, but I'm just thinking what someone else would say. We sit 2 points top of the Premier League, and
could have been
concerns with performances. But last season, we drew 12 games, and we had great performances away at the Bernabeu, beating Liverpool. Like, can you see when you actually put it to perspective? We weren't concerned when we were like 8 points off Liverpool, whatever it was last season. We're playing well though. And I'm with you. I can see those concerns, but again, what is the priority? The priority to
progressively, the team is progressively for me. So having less and less shape week on week. Every time you watch a game with them, especially in the league, like this is Wolves. The way that Arsenal fell apart after that. Let's be fair. That after the mistake from the keeper, right? That should never go in, right? It was in all Wolves, and we're talking about Wolves, 2 point Wolves here, right? Or bossing the last. Let's be fair. The last 1 minutes were bossing them. Regardless, you take on and off. That shouldn't happen, and that's my concern. It can come. We talk about on reset about mentality, and I think we made a very good point about it. So let's see. I mean, I'll say it now. I think Arsenal got more likely to win the Champions League than the league at the moment. The way they're playing and everything. Maybe the defense is a big miss. Gabriel being that one thing, but I think there's some.
Everyone is talking about Gyökeres though, and that's
well,
fair.
I think
it's his
fault. One thing to ask you though, Naim, is because it looks like, and I think it's a fair question, from Odegaard coming back into the team and then starting, because if you look at Eze, he scored a hat-trick against Spurs, and then Odegaard's fit again, and then he's against Villa, he's moved on to the left again. Would you say there's a correlation now? Because now we're looking at the team, and is it to try to accommodate Odegaard? Is there a right balance in there? Because we have to have these sort of conversations as well, because it seems like everyone's talking about Gyökeres. It seems like that's the escape. That's the scapegoat this season.
I think this weekend, I think there was some stuff around it. Look, Gyökeres, I think, you know my views on Victor Gyökeres, but I think Odegaard, there was a couple of times Odegaard, we've seen it many times. I've said it before. If he doesn't get the ball quick enough, it's like they don't trust him. I hate to say it. When you watch the game, when you watch them play, it's like they don't trust him up top. There's been times where he's made the run. There was at least twice against Wolves. We just need to sort that ball through. And Odegaard, for some reason, just loves playing keep ball, doesn't he? Touch. I think he holds onto the ball. I think he's the guy who's meant to.
Way too much, man. Way too
much.
And
I think that's when Eze would have played the ball. Eze would have played that ball. I'll say that now.
Well, you've seen Eze. Now, look, again.
End of the day, this is Arteta, isn't it? This is his decision.
There's frustrations, and I understand, which I don't quite understand. Like, Eze had a stinker today. He did, fine. But the difference for me in Eze in that 10 and Odegaard in that 10 is that game against City, that ball over to Martinelli, Odegaard doesn't play that ball.
Agree.
Eze plays that. Odegaard doesn't get a hat-trick. Odegaard is not around that edge of that box, and you think, right, if the ball drops,
I agree.
He's going to hit that. And I think that's the balance that we have to look at now, and we have to pick our poison now, because that's what it is. Are you going to get somebody that's going to be in control of the ball and have lots of touches? They have equalized. Yeah, or are you going to have all of those touches and then keep things ticking over, or you're going to have a maverick in that 10 who can assist? Because look, I've looked at the assist against Martinelli, fantastic ball against City, assist for Gyökeres, probably the service we all wanted him to see against against Forest at home. You saw that again, you're thinking, okay, hat-trick against Spurs, winning goal against Crystal Palace.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying you got to think to yourself, why are you picking Odegaard?
Odegaard is his guy. When you wear the captain's armband, right, he's going to play. And I agree with you. I don't think he should walk back into the team. I think Eze had the possession of the shirt. But I think Arteta's now got too many toys. Let's pause. I think in the grand scheme of things, is that
you need to calm down. You need to calm down.
That is you, bro. When you're Saturday night out.
A very bad boy.
I heard no.
How many toys is enough then, Naim? How many toys do you like to play with?
Hey.
Oi.
What kind of show is this? Can we calm down, please?
What is this about?
Let's calm down.
Yeah,
Let's all pray.
You said
I
it.
know
Like,
you just finished that documentary on Netflix, and you stop it. Your guy's been exposed. Now, I think is it that he's got too many players? When Emery doesn't play, for example, he doesn't even get a look in. We forget. Is it that he just trying to be too clever?
Hindsight is a beautiful thing, because when I looked at the lineup, you've played Ben White way too many games. You just come back from a long-term injury. He's now gone off. Would it have been smarter to play Timber at right back and Kape and Saliba as a centre back and bring in MLS? It's Wolves at home.
Ed, but you're saying that. But
risk
who would you rather miss though? Because personally, if I played Timber at right back and he just ended up playing centre back and he was injured for a month, do you see what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying. That you're gonna, because personally, I can live. I'm upset about Ben White being injured, but I mean, Timber is the one I do not want injured.
No,
so I know out of the right backs.
But what I'm saying is, you need Ben White, because now that's going to put more pressure on Timber to stay fit.
You're fine.
You know what I mean? So it's a situation where you've now sacrificed Ben White. Listen, only the manager knows the fitness of his players. But now it looks like a dodgy decision to play him that many games in succession when the guy has been out for months. The guy was playing through injury anyway, had surgery, came back.
It's a huge setback.
Massive, saying a month out with a hamstring injury, and once you go down with injury, your other body parts compensate for what's going on with the injured body part, right? So now he's facing a month out. It might be even longer. We don't know. His fitness is in the mud. I'm not here to blame Arteta. It's not even his fault. But what I'm saying is, there's certain things where you're thinking, in hindsight, why is Hincapié at left back? You could play MLS. The Wolves are coming to our ground. They're bottom. It's not like Wolves are like 10th or 8th that you have to kind of respect them. They're bottom. You can be a bit more risky in your player personnel choices. You know what I'm saying? You could just throw caution to the wind. Nwaneri could play. Nwaneri could have played. Like,
I actually liked Nwaneri when he came on against Bruges, actually, and I think he's probably
how quickly the ball moves.
Second choice 10. And I'm
or even on the wing. He can play wing or 10. Like, he's good enough to play. Like, he should be getting some more.
Madueke should be thinking, if Ben White is played again, which he did, I think Madueke must be fuming.
He said on the bench. He didn't come off the bench.
But this is what I'm talking about. Arsenal, Arteta plays with handbrake a little bit on.
Yeah, go on, Kofi. Yeah, do your thing. Yeah, this is
exactly what I'm talking about. Like, from the outside looking in, that's all I see from Arsenal. And the reason I said that the Arsenal wobble has come early is because the reaction after the Aston Villa game told me everything I needed to know still about the mentality of Arsenal. And that is still fragile. You don't react like that. It's heartbreaking, we get it. But to react like that after a last-minute goal shows everything. Like, a City wouldn't react like that. Liverpool wouldn't react like that. Obviously, Man United of old wouldn't react like that. No. Huh?
This season, Liverpool, or last season, Liverpool.
Even this season, Liverpool wouldn't react like that. They wouldn't react. Who's dashing themselves on the floor doing 5-star frog splash like your goalkeeper was? Who's doing that? Nobody's
doing what, sorry?
5-star frog splash.
But you're saying that, but Liverpool they lost like 4 in a row, bro. City, fine. Yeah.
That's fine. No, but all I'm saying is, they're not dashing themselves on the floor and going out. They're not doing that. They aren't. They're recouping.
You think it's a bad mentality, though? But listen, it was a bad performance. But is this now overkill now? Because
no,
they won the game, though, isn't it?
No, I'm going again back to Villa, and then I'm coming to this one.
All right.
That reaction is what seeped through into this game.
Oh my word! 3-2 now.
I'm not surprised. This guy played some clown football.
3-2 Bournemouth.
He won the free kick. Casemiro brought him down at the edge, and he's just whipped in a free kick. It is nasty.
I'm about to watch the free kick.
And he's a left footer as well. And I'm looking at this. If you do see the goal, I would expect one of our players on the edge of the box with a left foot like that to shoot with conviction. Like
Kofi, can you tell us about the mentality of Arsenal whilst you're losing?
Yeah, carry on as your team.
No. I just want to know.
Listen, this is an Arsenal conversation. Why are we bringing Man United into it?
I just want to know.
Villa, didn't we?
I just want to know. What's the mentality again? It's seeping through whilst you're losing 3-2?
The mentality of Man United currently is reflective. Bro, that was a Mr. Whippy. That wasn't that great of a free kick, but it was coming.
Look at that. No,
Bro,
but at
man
least my
doing the-
left
what's it,
footer is
Ward
actually
Prowse. Yeah.
Mr. Whippy.
kicking the
Anyways,
corner.
as I was saying, Arsenal's mentality for me is still what is holding them back, and it comes from the manager, right? If your manager instills a confidence in you to say, like, again, come to that Wolves game, like he played with the handbrake on because he was like, okay, we took a bad beat the last game. I don't want anything to happen. I want to be quite sure in this. So let's actually set up a bit rigid in midfield and let's lose some fluidity. No. Guaranteed, if that's an Alex Ferguson at home, he's coming out guns blazing to say, no, we are shooting these men down. And that's where I'm talking about. That's where the mentality is still, for me, seeping from the manager to the players, that we're not fully sure in ourselves. If you're a manager who's sure in yourself, you're coming through and you're playing Noni, you're playing Eze. I will drop Odegaard. Like, honestly, Odegaard for you guys is fluff right now. Like, he, for me, has been the one thing that's come back and actually slowed you down.
I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'll be in big trouble.
It's Gyökeres's fault, though. This is Gyökeres's fault. It's nothing to do with.
From the outside looking in, Moreno plays a style of football which connects with your midfield better. That's why I think, for me, I'm actually worried Gabby Jesus is back. That hand on heart. Because he
huh? You could not bear smiling, man. That's
his guy.
That's his guy. He loves Gabriel Jesus.
I'm surprised he mentioned him. I'm surprised he mentioned him.
Why?
No, I don't need to, because I think we all know. I think we all know. Well, carry on.
The offensive football Arsenal have played over the last 3 years, the best offensive football Arsenal have played has been with that guy in the team.
Now, Kofi, stop it now. Stop it now.
What?
Yeah, because you look. Sometimes
his music,
like when you're a kid,
this, bro.
When you're a kid now. Sometimes, look, Kofi, how dare you do this? Because look, you've got little Timmy and little Tommy that still believe in Santa Claus, and what you're doing now is just telling them that he doesn't exist now. And now, oh my God, carry on, keep cooking.
Again,
carry on.
I don't like Arsenal. I'm just saying it.
Please keep going, because people are saying attacking forward and
that Arsenal play that connects your front line to your midfield seamlessly. Again, your defense is solid. If you get your Gabriel back, Timber moves back to right back, and who's left back for you guys now?
Going to be
Calafiori.
Yeah, that's a solid back line. You just need that one forward who connects it. Clearly, Arsenal play better with somebody who's more of a, again, for lack of a better term, a 9.5, who's not just going to stay up there and be somebody who can just receive the ball. You need somebody who's going to move them about, because Arsenal play fluid football. The team is geared towards a fluid footballer. Again, that's why Kai Havertz always made more sense over Gyökeres. Gyökeres came into the team. He's a target man. Gyökeres is a target man. Arsenal don't play target man.
I don't think he's a target. I think it's the complete opposite, bro.
No, what does he do?
I think Havertz is more of the false nine, the target man. If you see Gyökeres, this is why we've got a bigger, and look, I think you've done well in terms of bringing us onto that. Look at the difference of when Trossard came on, and look at how he was actually trying to find pockets. He's probably our best moment in the game was when the ball went over to the top. Gyökeres held it, turned and shot, and you just think, why is that ball? People talk about how many touches, but why is that ball not going into him enough? I know everyone's obsessed with the Gyökeres, and there's a Gyökeres agenda, and Gyökeres is supposed to come in and he's supposed to score 8 million goals, and he's supposed to. But I am still a bit concerned, and I've got the best cosign to agree with me, which was Mikel Arteta himself, and saying he's concerned with he's making runs and they're not finding him. Now, I take on board. I had a conversation with Ed. I do take on board that what will stand out for Gyökeres is you'll take a look at the Villa game when Rice played that ball in the 6-yard box. He should have been there. And again, last Saturday with Saka, who surprisingly did pass, and he should have made it. But this is why you're looking at those two and they're glaring, because you're thinking, oh my God. But if that's the best and the only two examples that I'm seeing, he is not getting the ball enough. They're not playing to his strengths. Now, people say He has to adapt. He has to adapt. Yes, he has to do better. His touch, say whatever you want. But I'm seeing Trossard coming on, and he's actually trying to find these little pockets and think, right, that's our centre forward. Because he's occupying the centre backs. Whether you like it or not, we're a better team with him
That's
in.
what centre forward does, bro. That's their job. I'm not being rude, mate. Like,
Okay, well, you're saying that's his job, but did Havertz?
He stinks. It's his fault, man. He stinks, man. It's his stinks.
No, but you're saying that his job is a centre forward's job to occupy.
I think too right.
No, but hold on. Before we were criticised that our false nines are playing too deep.
No, but I think Kofi made a great point. I said it at the start of the season. He's only playing because Havertz isn't fit. Havertz will be the starting striker for us. He's just there. I think he's bought Gyökeres as a different option. Jesus' knees made out of glass. I know you're gassed he's back, but give it a month. I hate to say it, like he's had too many knee injuries. There's no reliable striker. I think obviously, and the team doesn't know how to play with a 9. We've had this. Gyökeres is like a proper 9, right? I don't think the team knows how to play with him. That team's been built to play with false 9s for what?
Yep.
Since Arteta's time there, say.
Yep. Well, that's a great point. I said this the other day.
It's Gyökeres' fault, man. It's Gyökeres' fault.
I said this.
No, Ed, what's your legit take on this? Now, what's your legit take?
My take is his fault. It's blame Gyökeres. When in doubt, blame Gyökeres. Yeah, man. That's it. I mean,
I kind of agree with Ed. I think this is trying to be the scapegoat of issues. And what's more disgusting is these people who are kind of saying this, the manager himself, he doesn't have to come out and say anything. He's told you himself they're not finding him.
Mikel's a liar. Remember that.
He must be a liar, and he's a rubbish manager.
He's a liar. So Mikel's a liar, and it's Gyökeres' fault. That's all that people need to understand.
Let's stick with that.
That's my own.
Because you're right, Kofi, you made a great point, and I think I've mentioned this on another group chat, that I genuinely believe if we had Haaland or Kane, they will score goals. They won't score as much as they're scoring. They'll score goals, but they won't score as much as they're scoring in their current teams.
No, I think if you had Kane, rap.
No, but what I'm saying to you, Kofi, I'm not saying that they're not going to score goals. They will. They're unbelievable. You know and we would win the league. My point is they won't score as much as they would at there. Because
you're going to say Julian Alvarez, aren't you? You're going to say Julian Alvarez.
No.
Okay, cool.
Ekitike. If Arsenal had Ekitike, I'm sorry. Done.
But we've said this already, guy. But you've just but what you just said was very good. You said in this setup, we're not built to have prolific strikers. That's what I'm saying. You could put who you want there. I don't think they'll be scoring as many goals as they are in their current club.
No, do you want to know why I say Ekitike? Because
I don't know if the players are giving that service.
Huh?
I don't know if the players, what I've seen, would give him that service. Because I'm actually really, really concerned this season. People have said I've got agendas and stuff like that, but I'm really, really concerned. And one thing that I'm really concerned with is, and I look back at it now, I don't want to bring up the past, but I look at what Fergie said. I think Ferdinand said the same thing, that when Van Persie come, Fergie was like, listen, no, it's not even a joke. If you do not find this guy and give him the ball early, it's problems for you. People are talking about low blocks, this about Gyökeres, that about Gyökeres. I don't think he's been found enough. And I've criticized him with Ed when I said he's making so many runs during the game and they're not finding him, that I think he gets frustrated. And the one moment he doesn't make that run, that's when the ball comes in. But I don't even think Ekitike will score them goals.
Remember, we have our own Van Persie in Havertz, though. So all is good. Remember.
My legit question to you in that is that you say they're not finding him. Who in your midfield has got a range of passing? If he's making them runs from, say, deep midfield, who's going to find him in your midfield? Because they keep making those passes.
I was told...
That's when they're making those passes.
Kof, I was told we have Europe's top creator in chief in Odegaard. So I think the burden is on Odegaard to find him.
That's true.
A reliable source.
That's true.
He's in Greece somewhere. But he said that, yes, Odegaard created the most chances in Europe last year. I did my own working out, and that wasn't the case. But neither to say like, yeah, we have Odegaard, so yeah, the burden should be on him. He's got the ability. He was a former Real Madrid player, so that always helps.
Fair play to Ed, though. Fair play to him, though, Ed. And it happened once. There was a game, I think it was against Slavia Prague, and Odegaard actually did pass the ball through to Gyökeres, and he ended up nearly scoring, and then Martinelli scored. So when he did actually release the ball and think, oh, there is a 12 or 14 stone striker running ahead of me. Maybe I might pass the ball in front of him. And he did that once.
But the key thing you said is almost scored. So again, it's Gyökeres' fault. So
yeah. That's true. But listen, look, as we're all being facetious and stuff, but look, Arsenal are still, as I said, look, top of the league. It's getting tighter up there. It's squeezing bum time every week. For Man City as well, don't think they're not feeling the pressure, because if they lose one game, then the points and the gap widens. Right, we are going to end on a positive.
That's Tottenham, right?
Yeah, sorry, Spurs lose again. Listen, look. Do you know what? There's a few things that really do annoy me. And if this was your life was still on and they asked, listen, about what really upsets you, and what are the misunderstandings that people have about you? One is that I'm really confident. And two is the fact that I don't say nice things about Tottenham, because I think I do. But the problem is I have to be lying now. I find myself, I cannot tell the truth for nothing. Because if I tell the truth, I'm now lambasted as a hater. I'm not listening to your show. All you do is put us down and stuff. Anytime I try to tell the truth, they don't want to hear it. They want to be delusional. I come in and say something, it moves on to Arsenal. I don't want to hear any moaning from Tottenham Hotspur. You've got what you wanted. You have sacked Ange. Now, before the Europa League final, you wanted Ange out.
He should have been sacked.
You've got the man out. He lost 22 games and you finished just above the relegation zone. For a club of your stature, that is poor. I don't care what you're doing. If you win the Premier League, I'll forgive you. If you even possibly win an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup double, I could look past that. But in my lifetime, God forbid the Arsenal manager finishes 17th. How do you live with yourself? As I said, even at my level of playing semi-pro, if my team finished 17th, don't ask. You can ask me if I played for a team. Don't ask me how I did last season, because I will be able to eat my food. 17th out of 20 teams. But anyway, let me digress. So now that they've won the Europa League, you now say we're going to get Eze. It doesn't work out. You go and get Xavi Simons. Rather than just enjoying your signing, you want to now say, okay, what's going on over there? Oh, he's better than Eze because he's played at a higher level. It's been shocking. As I said, it literally has been, watching him on that pitch this season, it literally has been, you got served. And he literally looks like Bow Wow or Marion. There's a lot of moves there, and I'm thinking this boy can move, but he's been overpowered in this Premier League. I wouldn't even come in for Xavi Simons this season. I just let him do what he needed to do, because I thought, look, the kid has been a journeyman. Like Spurs, they don't even research their signing. They don't even sit there and think, right, it doesn't matter. Anyone can come in there. And already this guy he's going to be the answer. He's better than Eze, rather than is he good enough? Anyway, we start. You've got Thomas Frank, a respected manager. Thomas Frank hasn't said boo to a goose. He doesn't say anything, man. Calm guy, steady ship at Brentford. Last season, you're too open. It's disgusting. I can't believe how we're playing. We're too open. We've lost 22 league games. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful. And now, look, they've lost 6, isn't it? I think they've won 6, they've lost 6, they've drawn 4. So again, we're getting into very sketchy numbers again, where you're thinking, what is actually going on here? And Nottingham Forest, they slapped Spurs up. They really, really beat them up.
Belt to ass.
It could have been 5. It could have been 5.
It could have gotten had, yeah.
It could have been 5. And this is a team that was struggling. This is the team that had your ex-manager, your most successful manager that you've had in 16, 17 years by winning that Europa League. They had him and they sacked him. And now
39 days. 39 days, right?
And they've done this. And we're back now, languishing now in 11th now. Coming for the manager. Again, you're coming for another man. It's another manager now. Daniel Levy's gone. You've got, listen, the wicked witch of the West, he's gone. He's dead. Fantastic. As all little, Oompa Loompas or elves or whatever they are from that, you should be dancing down the yellow brick road at White Hart Lane because he's gone now. That's it. So it's not Ange. And these are the same players who, at the beginning of the season, we were having conversations. Teddy Sheringham, I couldn't believe it. I think we could say Romero and Van der Ven are on the same level as Saliba and Gabriel. This is the way, this is what they do.
But Teddy Sheringham has never been known to be smart, though, has he?
That's a fair point.
Yeah, I mean...
Have you ever heard Teddy Sheringham speak and think he's a scholar?
Or even his technical, you don't see him on TV talk about that, about...
Yeah. He's got a good eye for talent, when he had the little young thing, we understand. But other than that, Teddy Sheringham... It's complete madness. Football.
It's complete and utter madness. And when I said this win is really papering over the cracks, I was told it's not. And now look where we are now. Everybody's crashing out. Already, December the 15th, they want him gone. He's useless.
But be fair, though. 11th is better than 17th, no?
Exactly. Pro rata, they're doing better.
For now.
They got 22 last year, right?
Yeah, it is. That's good. It's progress.
Naeem, what are your thoughts on it? And look, I know you're quite the negative guy, and I've tried to be positive about them as I always am. But I don't know. I can't tell the truth. Sometimes I can't tell the truth now. Now we're back into the same situation. Yes, they have got injuries. I agree, but you've got your first choice defense now, isn't it? Really?
I mean, I don't know what's happened to their goalkeeper. When he first signed, I thought he looked a decent keeper. He's all over the place, isn't he?
I never thought that,
No, I thought initially when he first started, I thought
no. I know others did. No, you're right. But
but I think he's got progressively worse with the distribution. But I mean, Spurs, I think you made a great point. They lost 22 games last season. Let's not forget, you can't fix all those problems with one window. They are missing their best player in Kulusevski. I think he would play for. I think he'd play for a lot of the top teams in the league. I think he's that good. I rate him that highly. I think Thomas Frank is probably trying to put in his own style of football in that. I think I did read an article somewhere where what Spurs are struggling to. Obviously, for the past season and a half, they've been playing that gung ho football. What Frank is trying to do is, and we did it very well at Brentford, is change tactically every game. And I think it's Spurs are trying to learn that at the same time. They've got some good players there. So I think it will take her a bit of time, a bit of muddled. I think they made a great point. I think they're 11th. I don't know what Spurs are expecting this year. Brand new coach, changing the style of football with those players. I think this is where they're thereabouts. But I think their performances are awful. I think they've got some good players there. Bergvall, I rate. I think he'll be a good player.
I think he's good. Bergvall, Archie Gray.
Yeah.
Kudus is still there. They got some players, man.
Kudus is there, but I think how long until Kudus? I mean, Kudus is probably looking at unless Kudus does something. Lucky he's there for January, right? Let's be fair, because it's they didn't bank for that. But without him, there's nothing there. Without Smith, no Madison or Kudus. I don't know when Kudus back, but I'm not going to lie. I do enjoy it. It's a comedy show on its own. And let's be fair, this is their level at the moment, and long may it continue.
Edward,
I was told if you haven't got anything good to say, you shouldn't say anything. But I never listened to my parents, so yeah. Nah, Spurs are Spurs, man. They're gonna show you who they are weekly. 1 minute they're talking smack on group chats, and then when they lose to Forest, you can't find them. One person's was he cleaning poo from his house or something like that, and the other one's quiet because he's hungover from DJing and all sorts, man. They know who they are. They'll be in the show soon, so hint, hint. But yeah, just Spurs are Spurs, man. Spursy, wishy-washy, weak, insipid.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Insipid.
How do you feel?
Yeah, it's just a nasty institution. They're just trash, and they'll always be trash. Listen, they done well getting that Europa League, man. Well done. I respect it. It's something that I haven't seen, so they can flex that. But you got expressions crying weekly because his team is trash. So how good can that trophy be if weekly you're saying, oh, I'm done. This team is this and that, and oh, woe is me, and I'm crying, and yeah, all that. Hold that, man. That's all. Yeah, just Spurs will let you down weekly. So this is a PSA to anyone that's got a child. Don't let your child support Spurs because life will be hard. Life will be hard.
They'll give Frank time, though. They will give Frank time. I think they won't.
I think they have to, Naeem. They have to give.
They've got no choice.
Yeah. Unless they go for Unai Emery, but I think that's their.
No, they have to give. They have to give. For God's Kofi, they have to give Thomas Frank time. They have to because they keep. They've had more managers than they've had hot dinners. You know what I mean? They have to give the guy time to implement what he wants. You know what I mean? It's mid-December. Yeah, they are better where they were off. I know obviously they finished, but it was 5th in Ange's first season, so he did pretty well there, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, it's not looking good. But listen, look, on the bright side, we do have to commend Nottingham Forest because they were down and finished.
Shout out to Hudson-Odoi.
So his second goal was. I don't think it was a shot.
It wasn't a shot.
But yeah, listen, if you score them kind of goals, you're laughing, man.
And as for that Sangare, I was speaking to a Forest fan this morning, and they were saying that, look, when they bought him, they weren't too sure, but
big money as well, isn't it?
Very high. Was it from PSV?
Yeah, he had a very, very good game. He kind of bullied Spurs, and as for that finish, those are you see the Premier League is it's so unforgiving, isn't it? Really, it's like you could travel all those miles up there thinking, right, let's have a good away game, and then Forest were literally really going to make it really hard for you. And I said this thing about Sean Dyche as well, that he is literally, it's like Everton on steroids now with the players he's got now, man. He's looking around and thinking, it's going to be a very difficult place to go to. And I know City have to go there very soon. I don't think they're going to have it easy there. It looks like they're
hometown, isn't it? Nottingham's his hometown, I think, as well. I think it's his hometown originally, so he's gone home, sort of thing. So
he's definitely, but they are looking good. Obviously, you seem to be the expert. We'll end the show with yourself, Kofi. The expert on Arsenal's, flaws and stuff. What do you make of Spurs?
Honestly, they're just a mystery because for the longest, Spurs have always been a team where I always look at them like they could do something. For a long time, they could always do something, but they always do nothing. I don't even know what it is because, again, as a United fan, Alex Ferguson would roll up to White Hart Lane and say, it's just Spurs, isn't it? Which is cold. It's cold. That no team should ever have that kind of treatment, but I get it. I get it. Like, as I've grown up, I get it. It's just Tottenham. There's no other way to put it. Like, I feel sorry for players like, obviously because he's Ghanaian too, like Mohamed Kudus, like he's a good player and you can tell everything goes through him because he's the one kind of creative outlet that they have. Who they have up front?
Injuries though, they have, to be fair to them, listen, look, I'm looking at the playing staff as well, and I'm looking at the manager, and that's where I would say I've definitely got grace and I can understand. Fernandes, what a goal.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
Free kick, top corner.
3-3, yeah?
Yeah, 3-3.
Bro, before 3, I'm not holding nothing. It's before 3, man.
Life and death performer.
Yeah, good goal. But I did say, look, they've got a lot of injuries. It's not on this occasion that it's not actually the players that I've got a problem with. It's the supporters. I think that's the issue. And look, being an Arsenal supporter, I'm very sure they're probably thinking I feel the same way about you. But
I mean, I'm a United fan. I feel the same way.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah,
as well.
And I hear it, but it's the supporters, man. It's just about being realistic about who you are. And that's what I said. Are you who you think you are?
But the delusion is part of being a Spurs. It's part of Spurs, isn't it? I think that's part of it.
That is part of it, 100%.
Great free kick.
It was a wicked free kick. I think, I don't know, even if Spurs had their full strength team, though, I think they'll still be in the same position. Football overall is a systems based thing. If you don't get the right system against the right team, you're gonna lose. Yeah. And as simple as that. And then you have flipping managers like Emery who relies on moments like flipping this Bruno Fernandes firecracker to bail him out. That's just what football is now. And that's why you see all of these flipping what's his name? Pep Guardiola minions in Arteta and Maresca, who are doing all right in football because they're mirroring his football, which is actually quite flexible and can beat most systems out there. The only system that could beat it was Klopp's system, or challenge it, I should say, was Klopp's system.
4-3.
To who?
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Is it? Am I right? It must be
Unbelievable.
But that's just what I think it is. Like Spurs, it doesn't matter what they do. It's a systems thing. They've had managers whose systems just don't suit it. Spurs should have never got rid of Poch. Simple as that. They should have never got rid of Poch. That was their biggest mistake in recent history. That's all, and that's
was
all.
It spending? What was the issue there? Was it they didn't give any money? Innit? They didn't give any money.
Who with Pep? I'm not with Pep. With Poch.
With Poch.
Yeah, he wanted a bit more money.
He
wanted a bit more money to spend, and they didn't back him because that was after the finals of the Champions League, isn't it?
The Champions League.
Yeah, and they didn't back him. He just wanted to reinforce because he knew that squad was getting old. So that's all it was. Because he had Vertonghen and them man at the back.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But listen, man.
Wow,
it's been a pleasure on your debut, Kofi. I hope you've enjoyed your time, obviously, on the Offside Chat. So big you up for coming on the show. We'll definitely get you on the show again to talk United stuff, man. But obviously, yeah, big up everybody as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, man. We will see you next week. Peace out. Take care.
Thank you, guys.